I'm Kari Dennis, the Chief Operations Officer for Westerville City Schools. Welcome to Westerville South. I'm here to share with you some construction updates and what's next here at Westerville South, thanks to our community support. At the start of the project, we asked students, parents, staff, and community members what they needed and wanted for this building. And their input guided what you see today. They needed more space to move through the building with ease. Teachers needed larger classrooms with additional storage. Students asked for more spaces that support the work they do in the classrooms and for all of their activities here at South. When you think about one of the wonderful things about Westerville and how we got to making the decision to renovate versus replace, it's really easy in some sense to replace a building. But when you replace a building, you lose some of that rich history that goes along with it. People who have been here will tell stories time and time again about, I remember walking down that hallway, I remember so-and-so taught in this classroom. And you lose that when you replace a building. So this renovation gave us an opportunity to preserve the history here at South and the really great memories that people have, but bring it up to meet the needs of today's students. To tell the story of the South Project, you really have to start with the main gym. We needed to identify how we could add additional storage spaces, locker rooms, equipment spaces, athletic training space that led us to create a new main gym on existing land that we had here at Westerville South. That turned the original gym into our new auxiliary gym. So the construction of a new competition gym allowed us to create all of this. With the addition of the second floor in this space, it allowed us to put 10 educational spaces on each floor, along with teacher prep spaces and staff restrooms. The creation of these new classroom spaces in the blue wing allowed us to set the footprint of what the classrooms would be like for the rest of the building. Throughout South, we took 3 classroom spaces, removed the walls, and turned them into 2 classrooms. This increased the space from 600 square feet to 900 square feet. Throughout this project, we wanted to make sure that we created support spaces for students all throughout the building. We also made updates to the media center and the commons. Renovation work in the auxiliary gym allowed us to enhance spaces for our theater department. This used to be a wrestling locker room. So we were able to reimagine spaces that pretty much sat empty. This used to be a print shop, and now is an engineering space for students to be creative and design. In this space, we used to have automotive class. So you think about an underutilized part of the building for a number of years as programming and student needs have changed. You can see some of the history of this building and what its prior use was for. Garage door, that was there then, it's here now. The exit door, it's always been here. So you can also see it here in the yellow markings on the floor that were part of the safety markings of where equipment couldn't be stored. So this is another example of how we've reimagined a space. We use the connecting corridor between the blue wing and the rest of the building to create a space for students to work on projects and study. One of the biggest requests we had was to be able to identify the front and back entrance of the building. So here at the front of the building, we have created a secured entryway that goes directly into the front office for our visitors. At the back of the entrance, we wanted to create a sense of school spirit. So here you have the home of the Wildcats. At the entrance, in the commons, and throughout the building, you'll notice the use of these 4 colors. Why is that important? Families asked us to be able to identify their way throughout the building, so we use the colors to do that. Our hallways used to be packed, and with this project, we've been able to ease the flow of traffic throughout the school. As we prepare to wrap up the project, we've had additional requests asked of us by our students, staff, and South community. We've asked to revamp the old attendance space into a school store, adding more color to the hallways that match the themes, and additional storage in the band room. We are grateful for the support of our community. With that support, we've been able to preserve the history of Westerville South while meeting the needs of our students and staff today. More to come. Stay tuned. Go Cats!